I don't think I'd win it.
We won't go down that rabbit hole. And now it is for Canada, Jessica Phoenix and a Wabbit. This a 13-year-old by line of departure, owned by Jessica alongside Jim Phillips. Jessica, who's made the trip over from the US to compete here this week. Brilliant to have her with us. She's been here before, jumped a double clear back in 2011 on a wonderful horse called Exponential. And Wabbit, unbelievably experienced, multiple 5-star completions at Maryland and Kentucky, but a Burghley debut for the horse.
Yes, it's a very attractive horse. Positives first, good bend there in the half pass, and the frame of the horse is nice. What we need to improve is the swing in the horse's trot. So you can see he's quite tight in his strides, which also reflects in the way that his back moves. He looks a little bit tight through the whole of his back there. And what would improve that, of course, is in the trot you'd be looking for more suspension. He's not really off the forehand. I would call it a little bit horizontal there in the strides. But she is presenting a picture that is attractive. So in other words, what I like here is you can see the lightness in her hand, the lightness in the rein, this word self-carriage that judges are looking for. But of course, where he have to see here, has he got potential to trot better? Yes, he has, because you can see here in his extended trot, he has got the ability to come off the forehand, but his normal trot is still normal at the moment, as we call it. You're looking for more expression there. Just slightly before there. This centre line is very obvious to us when we're looking at it. The rider should be on the centre line, not the horse's face. And the walk also showing the tightness here. I think that's probably why she has a very light rein like that. She feels like she can't push him to the hand. The horse has to try and bring his nose to the vertical, to the contact, so that he'll take the rider's hand out. So that walk there is very up and down. There's no coming through from behind. Now it's starting to get better. This is a useful exercise for these horses, as in the extended walk is on a half circle. So therefore, when it's on a half circle, it generally will try and get some more relaxation. Unfortunately, that didn't work there with Wabbit. He had a jog, and he's very tense here. You can see it's very costly. The medium walk only scoring 5s and 5/5s anyway because of the tightness, and then with the mistake in the extension, this is going to bring the score down quite heavily, unfortunately. He's on edge. We can see that. Tension does affect horses in different ways. Some horses become more expressive, some become more introverted when they're tense.
And she was quite tactical there, wasn't she? Because she didn't really pick up the rein until she'd already got the canter.
I mean, she knows what she's dealing with, and the trouble is when you have to sit so quietly, because she's riding like, I hope the horse doesn't know I'm here. So very difficult when you've got these movements. Let's see with the change. Ooh. So the change is not smooth, but it wasn't late. It was clean and on her aid, but it just didn't have that forward riding in it, because I think she could feel the tension better in the half pass. So this again would show that, because I think from a rider's point of view, when you're riding sideways, so in other words in the half pass we've just seen, it helps you put your leg on the horse. So when you put your leg on the horse, of course the horse relaxes. So again, she can't really ride a full extension because obviously feels that tightness there. 1, 2, 3, boom. There she is. Nailed the change. You can count the strides. You can see how the rider has to get to the flying change with good timing. Now the half pass left.
Is timing something that comes naturally to riders, or do some of them have
to
some
and not others? Absolutely. The flying changes are a very good indication of who has timing and who doesn't, because if you aid the flying change on the wrong stride, that's when you'll see the horse be late behind, or you get that sudden jerk because the horse suddenly has the leg on it. I mean, this is a normal. The problem that she would be having here, Jessica, is normal, I would say. With a hot horse, she has to try and get her legs onto it. And if you have a lazier horse, of course, you have to try and train it with your legs slightly off so that it reacts to your aid. So that change, not so easy, the left to right one. So again, going back to what we said earlier about horses generally being better one way than the other, and he is, as the previous horse, was better there quality-wise from his right to left change. However, because they're not really forward ridden, that's why we're not seeing the high marks coming through today. Just a tension and tightness. I mean, it hasn't boiled him over, but it's just stopped his paces being expressive.
I would say, though, a lovely halt to finish, and I actually think she's going to be thrilled with this, because the horse has been at the 5-star level on a number of occasions previously, and actually this is going to be by far their best test by some 3 or 4 marks.
Well, you know, that's good that you can keep improving. I mean, as we know, everyone wins gold medals at home. And it's not so easy, as we've said, in the ring. The ring can when it affects your horse and it becomes tense, because I mean, I think this is a beautiful, lovely, attractive horse, and you know, you'd want him to do well, because he has actually, when you look at his conformation there's no reason, or his pace is why it couldn't be good. He just doesn't allow her to ride forward as yet. How old is he?
He is, bear with me, 13.
13. So, I mean, the great thing is, if you're talking about a Grand Prix dressage horse, you can bring it to the top of the sport to go Grand Prix at 10, and then you keep expecting it to improve. You know, even up to the age of 17, 18, when they can still compete at championship level. And this would be the same here with a horse like this. It, hopefully, through training, will just keep improving.
Well, a massive personal best at 5-star level for Wabbit. 34.9 sees Jessica Phoenix for Canada go into 12th place on the leaderboard. And you could really see the delight on her face as she came out of the arena there. And it's so interesting, isn't it, Cole? You know, everybody comes here and they have different goalposts. And some people would be thrilled to go sub 30, some people are sub 35, others bitterly disappointed.
Yes, and I mean, I think the older you get, the more you accept the horse's limitations, your limitations. You know, if that's the best test that horse has done up to date, then that is an improvement, and that is good. I mean, I can still see loads more in that horse there. You can see there he just unbalances himself a little bit when he does a flying change, that huge stride, especially left to right. But as you said, if that's, you know, it was actually a fairly clean test as well, so that's why it's a decent score.
And brilliant to see her so